Hello YouTube, this is AugustusLarch, and I'm here to go over the last events of the day. Everybody have heard about the blanket bomber. There's a Northwest Delta Airlines flight. I don't know, it doesn't say the flight number. Flight 253. And there is a suspicious man on there, Mr. Abdullah, and he went to the bathroom for 20 minutes and returning to his seat, his stomach was upset, pulled a blanket over itself. Then passengers heard popping noises, similar to firecrackers, smelled an odor, and there was pants leg in the wall of the airplane on fire. Passengers and crew then subdued him and used blankets and fire extinguishers to put out the flames. He said he was calm and lucid throughout. Asked him what he was pocket. He says, explosive device. How wonderful. And then we have this emergency Homeland Protection Zone emergency management blogs, and this guy, it's an editorial, and of course they just run it up like thing, and aren't we so glad that we didn't have another terror attack? Of course they used the fear against the population. And one of the things that I want to think about here is, you know what, this is a principle. It's called the 4 minutes, 26 minutes principle. And for the American public is so far gone with being cultivated into being idiots, I mean, not thinking things through. They just are spoon-fed through the media. The American public cannot understand anything that takes more than 4 minutes to explain and is repeated for the next 26 minutes to fall into the nice little tidy half-hour news cycle. So just think about that. And isn't it very true that they have an attention span? If they can't get the message across in under 4 minutes, it's over. And then they have to repeat that same thing over and over again for the rest of the half hour or for days and days and days. But it doesn't catch until they get that first little individual, and then they get the entire population jumping in the same hoop, through the same hoop. Oh, you know what? I checked out some more things. You know, the American mantra is like, facts are stupid. You know, really. If they watch Fox News, there isn't much facts on there. You have these journalists on there that don't act like journalists. They put their personal subjective spin on everything. Yeah. And look at this. They said here's some eyewitness accounts that they said that person that was a blanket bomber was put on the flight in Amsterdam. An Indian man, in a nicely dressed suit around the age of 50, approached the check-in counter with a terrorist and said, this man needs to get on a flight and he has no passport. Because he's from Sudan. He was doing a sympathy ploy. And eventually he smooth-talked his way into it. And the terrorist never said a word, and they put him onto the plane. He made it onto the plane with no passport. And it was either this sharp-dressed Indian man either bribed or persuaded the ticket taker to let him on the flight, but he got let on the flight. And then there was a different Indian man that customs held after a bomb-sniffing dog detected a bomb in his carry bag, and he was searched after we landed. So there was another guy on there too. There's many reports of this sharp-dressed man for the people that were on the flight 253. I believe that's the flight 253. That there was a sharp-dressed Indian man, a handler, that put the freaking terrorist on the flight. And of course it was botched. The whole thing is what's called a false flag attack. And that means that, and oh, didn't it come just at the right time? If you check up more on this stuff, there was a vote on the Patriot Act coming up. Oh, how convenient. Every time the war on terror has a lag, or the people start waking up a little bit, don't they make sure that their little Al-Qaeda friends deliver some person to really screw up, like Richard Reed, the shoe bomber. Now they have the blanket bomber. How convenient they show up right at the right time. Now I suppose the government's gonna run with this to justify everything they've been doing, running the country into the ground. Man, see, the internet's something, but you just gotta consider it. And I already had this intuition already, and this just supports it. This internet thing I have here on Flight 253 over Detroit on Christmas Day. How convenient for them. They were going to have a vote on the Patriot Act when the Congress opened up its section, when the national legislature was opening up. And now don't they have their fuel to justify, I mean, the continued police state. Anyway, this is AugustusLarch. I'm letting you in on my perception of this world and how I compile it objectively. There you go. Thank you for watching YouTube. This is AugustusLarch.